包み込んで泣かないことを誓ったまま時は過ぎ痛む心に気がつかずに僕は一人になった記憶の中でずっと二人は生きてゆける君の声が
Everything we thought we knew.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean—
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then. If we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
You both seem—
Only because after everything we've seen—
How are you holding up?
Yeah. But I was I know it's not as simple as all that. Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But even so I was thinking maybe
Rinwell.
that great Dana's will feels so warm and inviting.
Now that you mention it, Hevrek 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up.
Maybe.
We won't.
Oh, it's you two.
He who?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all.
What do you think about everything we've learned?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, as for the Renans—
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, to be told that they're like us. That—
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are but at the same time—
I know you're already aware of this, and if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same—
even just among the Danans, I think if we can find a way to get—
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah.
It's no small task.
Right. In a worst case—
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step. And now—
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this.
Really?
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum?
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen.
Law.
That was no way to live. But all this talk about other races and the world ending?
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, and when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, but that's when I finally got it.
In other words,
The thing that's most important. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me.
not everyone is strong enough to
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on.
Yeah. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere second.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least.
When you say the other Renans.
Correct. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in.
So,
And at the same time, there is, after all, and the victims of our rule have...
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way.
Indeed. On that note,
Oh?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dahna peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, I thought I'd die alone. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone. Like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me a Danan. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved. Maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people.
Forgiving.
Yeah. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future,
You know?
it's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm there with you, Shion. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori.
Yeah.
Whoa there, Savior Girl.
Yes, I know.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. I don't care who we're up against.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, and so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
while the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen,
First, they lumber you with a position you never asked for.
More importantly, who do they think we are?
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst.
In any case,
Right.
Do you have your answer for me?
you You're want to asking us ask to something fight an first. entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the Thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the Great Astral Spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns could be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the...
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, The collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The repair work on your starship has commenced. Finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us?
I am.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people,
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time.
but you still intend to confront—
Well, I did even as I dream of retirement.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I—
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet, but you changed that, Dohalim. Thanks to your reforms, of course, I'm sure. But we knew that not all of you were like that. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people.
That is, in essence.
Yeah, it is. But as soon as you stereotype,
I understand what you're saying. Realistically speaking,
even if we end up butting heads with one person, if we can build a society that works like that,
so you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright.
yes, I do. Do you still plan to return to Lenegus when this is over?
Indeed I do.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't dough.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. Don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here?
Well, I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize?
I was being real stupid before. I get why you're angry now, so I'm sorry, Rinwell.
No, Law. Of course you were worried.
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it, but I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent
Yeah, of course.
when we rescued Zephyr and it was the first time. Then, when I felt Dana's will, it made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad.
Yeah,
Well, alright. Then
you will?
there's no way for me to know for sure.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here? That's not quite true.
What?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said,
Yeah.
Hevrek 35 might know the answer, but you know what? So thanks, Rinwell.
Ah,
To be honest, I feel like you and I had grown apart lately.
huh?
Never mind. Nothing.
Huh? No, what were you saying? Come
Saying
on!
anything?
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm
Then
saying.
spit it out already!
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't.
Same as you, still trying to absorb.
Remember when it was so simple?
Ages and ages ago.
If I hadn't run into you that day, I wouldn't have my memories back.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, like Hevrecht 35 said, I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma, but it's taken us this far.
You can't be serious.
Listen, we don't know what's going to happen when we face it. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere, but if it comes down to it...
Okay, but you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I hope you can forgive...
Alphen, okay. So it's a promise?
Yeah.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Everybody get enough rest?
Yeah, we...
Agreed. Can't...
Our task is relatively straightforward.
We're fighting for a new future.
Right. We've come this far.
Then let's go, everybody.
Repairs on your start.
Is that you, Hevrecht 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere with...
Sounds like someone's...
Maybe we should give Hevrecht 35 a break.
I have unlocked all functions on your...
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the star.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's...
Wait.
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will...
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot.
We gotta go all the way down,
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal?
The extinction of my people is, as such, it would be illogical to...
Can't that thing lighten up a bit?
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up. Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should... Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope?
Shion's Firemaster Core was able to... Couldn't we make use of...
I'm not sure,
Back in Calaglia,
except after it... Besides,
Hevrecht 35 didn't mention it.
you're probably...
It would appear that our Helganquil host really...
you know what that means.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere.
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every...
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is, but after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone.
So the Great Spirit took everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude. And
With nothing left here to consume.
You're saying if we don't stop it,
We can be sure that even these few remain.
if the Oblivion and Darkness both it looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
so this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let